What the Denver Broncos just did to the Arizona Cardinals is turning heads across the league. This wasn't just another practice, it was a statement. Behind the scenes, even Cardinals insiders are admitting the truth. Denver has something special building, and it's impossible to ignore. The comparisons are fascinating. Some believe that if given the choice, Arizona would trade Kyler Murray for Bo Nix without hesitation. That's how much buzz the Broncos' rookie quarterback is generating right now. When you look at Denver's defensive line and offensive front, the respect is real. Opponents are already pointing out the matchups that would terrify them if they had to face the Broncos on Sundays. Even connections between these two teams run deep. Baron Browning, once a mid-round pick, has developed into a weapon that Denver stole at a bargain. Now he's becoming a force. And let's not forget, the Broncos also brought in Zach Allen from Arizona, a player Cardinals fans still wish they had. Add in the fact that Vance Joseph is orchestrating this defense, and it feels like the pieces are aligning for something bigger. After joint practices, one thing is clear: Denver is no longer being overlooked. This team is gaining respect, one rep at a time. When the Cardinals came to Denver for joint practices, the spotlight was on. The biggest storyline wasn't just the highlights, it was Sean Payton's refusal to let cameras roll. Everything stayed behind closed doors, and that only fueled the intrigue. From what did come out, the reviews were clear. The Cardinals looked competitive, but they were far from dominant. Kyler Murray had flashes, but one costly interception in their opener reminded everyone of the questions still surrounding him. Defensively, Arizona showed some fight, yet when you're facing Patrick Mahomes, one drive is all it takes to expose weaknesses. But here's what really mattered: reports out of practice painted a different picture. Denver's defensive line overwhelmed Arizona's offensive front early and often. And this wasn't against a weak unit. The Cardinals have invested in their line, even adding Will Hernandez, but they couldn't withstand the Broncos' relentless attack. And let's not forget, this is the same Broncos team that just dismantled the San Francisco 49ers. If Denver can impose its will on a strong Cardinals line, and already prove it against one of the NFC's toughest rosters, then the message is loud and clear: the Broncos are setting a new tone this season. For Cardinals fans, the focus has been crystal clear. Can Kyler Murray build chemistry with his new weapons? Marvin Harrison Jr. is already turning heads, and Trey McBride has quickly become Murray's most trusted target. That connection isn't just good, it's vital. McBride has developed into a true safety blanket, the player Murray looks to when the pocket collapses, and he's proving why many believe he's one of the top tight ends in the league. But this is where the concerns creep in. Too many times, Arizona has faltered late in the season. The narrative around Murray, fair or not, is that when November and December arrive, the production drops. That stigma has followed him, and until he proves otherwise, it's not going away. What stood out most from these practices was simple: Denver's defense had no answer for Trey McBride. Reports made it clear he dominated, and when you consider the Broncos have already handled top offensive weapons like Brock Bowers and Keon Coleman in recent weeks, that's saying something. McBride might not just be good, he might be special. Some analysts are already calling him a top 3 tight end in football, and based on his performances, it's hard to argue. For Arizona, he represents both a bright future and a lifeline for Murray. For Denver, he's the kind of matchup nightmare that will test their defense when it matters most. Kyler Murray is going to keep feeding Trey McBride, there's no doubt about that. But the real buzz after these joint practices wasn't just about Arizona's offense, it was about Bo Nix. For months, there were rumors that the Cardinals once considered him as their future quarterback. Instead, Denver took the leap, and now the early signs are electric. Reports out of camp said it loud and clear: Bo Nix delivered one of his best practices yet, spreading the ball to 9 different receivers. That's exactly the kind of command and confidence Broncos country has been desperate to see. Sean Payton praised his performance, and you could feel it, a breath of fresh air in Denver. For a fan base that's been searching for stability under center, this looked like the start of something real. And it wasn't against a weak defense either. Arizona's secondary has 2 established veterans in Budda Baker and Jalen Thompson, plus promising young corners like Will Johnson, who's being thrown straight into the fire. That's a group with talent and grit, yet Bo Nix still carved them up. What this shows is simple: Denver's rookie quarterback isn't just surviving camp, he's already proving he can thrive against NFL competition. And that's a storyline every fan in the league should be paying attention to. Transitioning from college to the NFL is never easy, especially for a rookie corner like Will Johnson. He's talented, he's physical, and he's expected to be Arizona's cornerstone for the future. But for now, the growing pains are real. Reports show Denver's offense carving up the Cardinals' secondary, and while Johnson had his moments, it was clear the Broncos had the upper hand. And then came the question that hits like a lightning bolt. If you could swap quarterbacks right now, Bo Nix on a rookie deal or Kyler Murray on one of the league's most expensive contracts, who would you choose? It's not an easy answer. Kyler Murray is explosive, one of the most dynamic players in football when he's locked in. But the inconsistencies, the injuries, and the weight of that massive contract have created doubt. On the other side, Bo Nix just entered the league, but his poise, precision, and command of Sean Payton's offense already feel like the foundation of a rebuild. For many, the choice is becoming undeniable. The future looks brighter with a hungry rookie on the rise than with a star quarterback struggling to shake the questions around him. That's not disrespect to Kyler, it's just the reality of today's NFL. Bo Nix has given Broncos country a reason to believe again. And right now, belief is priceless. The truth about Kyler Murray is complicated. He's an incredible athlete, a player who can still change games when he's healthy. But when a quarterback carries one of the biggest contracts in football, it limits what a team can build around him. That's the harsh reality. Arizona has managed the situation well, but questions remain. Some still believe in Kyler, and they should. His talent is undeniable. But history has shown us how quickly athletic quarterbacks of his build can hit a cliff. Russell Wilson was once a perennial Pro Bowler before his decline came fast and hard. The same questions now surround Murray. Can he avoid that fate, or is it already looming? One bright spot is his chemistry with Trey McBride. That connection looks unstoppable. Even against Denver, McBride kept making plays, and while Pat Surtain too held his own against Marvin Harrison Jr., the rookie still managed a few impressive catches. These are battles worth watching. But when you shift the lens back to Denver, one strength towers above the rest: the defensive line. And at the heart of it is Zach Allen. The Cardinals' decision to let him walk still stings in Arizona. Whether it was about money, fit, or following Vance Joseph, the result is the same: Denver gained a difference maker, and Arizona lost one. For the Broncos, Allen represents more than just a great player. He symbolizes a defense that's hungry, aggressive, and ready to dominate. For Cardinals fans, Zach Allen feels like the one that got away. Much like Calais Campbell years ago, his departure still stings. Arizona let him walk, and now in Denver he's blossoming into exactly what many feared: a force that changes games. Last season, Allen helped lead one of the league's most disruptive defensive lines, piling up quarterback hits and setting the tone with his relentless motor. Even through injuries and pain, he kept strapping up and fighting. That's the kind of player every team regrets losing. And then there's Vance Joseph. Opinions around him are split. Some fans remain bitter, while others respect what he accomplished before moving on. The truth is, Joseph was tied to the Cliff Kingsbury era in Arizona, and both sides probably needed a clean break. But in Denver, reunited with players like Allen, Joseph has the chance to put his stamp on one of the most physical defenses in football. For the Broncos, it's not just about collecting talent, it's about building an identity. With leaders like Allen and a coordinator like Joseph, this defense is carving out its reputation as one of the toughest units in the NFL. Vance Joseph remains one of the most respected defensive minds in football. His schemes are aggressive, smart, and battle-tested. In Arizona, he didn't always have the talent to make it work, but in Denver, the pieces fit. Last season, the Broncos finished as a top 3 scoring defense, despite having just one first-round pick, Pat Surtain too. That's not luck. That's coaching, discipline, and sheer toughness. And this offseason, Denver only added more firepower. With stars like Talanoa Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw joining the mix, the expectation isn't just to be good. The expectation is to be the best defense in football. If Joseph delivers on that, his name will be back in head coaching conversations across the league. Broncos fans just hope he sticks around long enough to build something lasting. Around the NFL, people are starting to talk. After back-to-back showings against the 49ers and Cardinals, the whispers are growing louder. Denver looks better than San Francisco. With Matthew Stafford battling injuries in Los Angeles and Seattle still searching for long-term stability at quarterback, the door is wide open. The question isn't whether the Broncos can compete. The question is whether they can seize this moment, win the division, and announce to the football world that they are truly back. Kyler Murray has said he plans to use his legs more this season, and if he can stay healthy while proving he can win in November and December, the Cardinals could push for a division crown. But the NFC West is a battlefield. Matthew Stafford's health remains a huge concern in Los Angeles. San Francisco is fighting through wave after wave of injuries, and Seattle has questions at quarterback despite talent across the roster. The door is open, but walking through it won't be easy. For Denver, the path is just as daunting. The AFC West runs through one name, Patrick Mahomes. Until someone proves otherwise, the division belongs to Kansas City. That's the harsh truth. But here's the difference this year. Denver finally has the tools to fight back. A ferocious defense, a quarterback in Bo Nix who looks more confident every day, a head coach in Sean Payton who knows how to build winners. The odds may not favor the Broncos, but belief is rising. And in the NFL, belief is the first step to changing everything. On paper, Denver stacks up better than people realize. Kansas City's wide receiver room is surrounded by question marks. Rashee Rice facing possible suspension, Xavier Worthy still unproven, and Marquise Hollywood Brown battling the same injury concerns he had in Arizona. Travis Kelce is aging, and even Isaiah Pacheco's workload is uncertain. That leaves an opening, and the Broncos are built to take advantage. With Bo Nix showing poise beyond his years, the ceiling feels sky-high. Courtland Sutton has been paid and trusted to lead this group, and Sean Payton continues to insist the receiving core is underrated. Rookie Pat Bryant is already turning heads, with Payton comparing him to former Saints star Mark Colston. And if Payton passed on stars like Deebo Samuel and Cooper Kupp, it's because he truly believes this room has the firepower to succeed. Still, every team has its weak spot. For Denver, the question isn't about effort or belief. It's whether the offensive weapons around Bo Nix can stay healthy and deliver consistently. That will decide if this team simply competes, or if it finally conquers the AFC West. If there's one test the Broncos must pass, it's stopping the run. Last year, Denver proved they could bottle up elite backs, but the inconsistency showed in key moments. That's why adding J.K. Dobbins was no accident. This defense is being built to finish the job. If they control the ground game, there's no ceiling on how dominant this unit can be. As for Arizona, it all comes down to Kyler Murray. If he can stay healthy and win when it matters most in November and December, the Cardinals have a chance to surprise the NFC. But for Denver, the mission is clear: fight through the AFC gauntlet and prove this team belongs in the Super Bowl conversation. Broncos country has waited long enough. The foundation is set, the belief is back, and now it's about execution. The path won't be easy, but the fire is there. And who knows, maybe one day we'll see the Broncos and Cardinals collide under the bright lights of Levi's Stadium with everything on the line. Broncos country, the ride is just beginning. Buckle up, because this season is going to be unforgettable.